episode of Buckle Up with the Boys. We have a lot in store for you tonight. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button down below to stay up to date with all things Buckle Up with the Boys. All gas, no brakes. We want to give a special shout out to our new sponsor, AE Diesel Services, owned by Alex Emmert. If you haven't checked them out yet, check out his services. Well, welcome back to another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys. It's an honor and a privilege. We got two handsome men here, and Nate Stice and Cole Peterson. How are we doing, fellas?
Doing great, man. Glad to be back.
It's doing good, DB. See you rocking your Steelers gear, huh?
They're looking fucking real good in that preseason game right now. I know it's only preseason, but goddamn it, they're steamrolling them. Big announcement here, fellas. We got a giveaway that we're going to announce the winners. It takes a while in the episode for folks to join in, but we just want to get it out of the way because there's a lot of news, Nate, Cole, that we got to touch on here in the NFL world. But real quick here, I got a hat here. So, all right, everybody that's a part of the giveaway, if you're watching, the episode, there was a $50 Walmart gift card that was up for grabs, $25 Amazon gift card, LeBron James PSA graded rookie out of 8, and 3 football packs. I put Chronicles, but there's an asshole buying all the football cards at our Walmart. So I don't know what the hell you're going to get, okay? But anyways, all right, let me do this here. All right, so this is for the $50 gift card. All right, what we got here? Josh Mainers, appreciate you, fella. You won that gift card. I'll be getting a hold of you about that. Let's see here. All right, we got the Amazon gift card. Nate, you guys could have entered. What the fuck?
I like to leave it to the other people to have the opportunity, to be honest.
All right.
We're all right, winning, Drew. They'll probably think you're rigging it.
No.
Right. That's the other part of it, too.
All right. Nate Christ, you got the $25 Amazon gift card. Right on, brother. All right. Let's see here. LeBron James rookie card. Cody Thompson. LeBron James, congratulations, buddy. You got I think it's the main prize of the giveaway right there. And then we got the 3 football packs. Oh, one. Well, fuck me. Hold on a minute.
I think that's who you had to pick right there.
Yeah. And we got Michelle Youngs won the 3 football packs. So I'll get a hold of you guys. But anyways, I appreciate everybody. We're going to have more giveaways down the road here. We got some businesses reaching out. So we'll have that going. But anyways, so a lot of NFL news to touch on, fellas. 49ers named Brock Purdy as their starting quarterback. We already kind of knew that was going to happen. And now Sam Darnold's going to be the backup. What the hell do they do with Trey Lance? What do you guys think here?
They go, we took an L on that.
Okay. All right.
That's what they do.
All right.
That just stinks. Like, I think DB, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here on your show, but if you remember a few months ago when I came on, I said, I think this is exactly what's going to happen. I think that Brock Purdy's going to come back, be the starter. Sam Darnold, they kept saying, was looking phenomenal. And Sam Darnold just had kind of a bad shake. He went to the Jets, who were miserable. They made the playoffs in over a decade. And then goes to the Panthers, who were in a rebuild. And he's also been injury prone. It just really took Sam Darnold to kind of get in a good fit to get a chance. And he's still not even getting a chance, by the way. He's just the backup. But yeah, Trey Lance, I'll also say this. The dude's really not had a fair shake either. He played in like 6 football games in the last 5 years. I mean, it's crazy. He had an amazing sophomore season. I think he had like almost 30 passing touchdowns and no interceptions. The next year he plays 1 game because of COVID, comes out, has to sit, gets injured again. Kind of feel sorry for the guy, hasn't quite gotten the fair shake, but I also don't think that he's all that either. So yeah, Brock Purdy, I think, is the guy. He's cheap right now. You can continue to build that team around him. Has a lot of great players on that 49ers team. So it's his team. And Sam Darnold, I think, is a pretty serviceable backup if things, don't go Purdy's way or he gets injured again.
Right. Cole, what do you think there, handsome?
It was pretty spot on. I would just say, Trey Lance, he had his injuries, which is unfortunate, misses his time. But then the time that he did have when he did play, he didn't really perform to the expectations of what they thought, right? So there's a big money guy right there that's not filling the shoes that he was supposed to. Unfortunately, some injuries part of that reason. But then they draft Mr. Irrelevant, right? Brock Purdy. Guy's got nothing to lose, right? He's just chilling. Gets a spot, gets to play, plays his heart out, busts his ass. Everyone, kind of pumps up behind him, and he's taken off. And they're riding with, who they think is best for their organization right now. And I couldn't agree more with their decision, honestly. And, unfortunate for Trey Lance, I think his time in San Francisco is done. I don't know where he's going to go or who's going to get him, but I think he's done in San Francisco because, as Nate touched on, Sam Darnold is clearly the number 2 backup there now.
Right. No, I mean, he's America's favorite son. So, I mean, I'm happy to see Brock Purdy. Like I said in another prior episode, I know people get pissed off at me because I repeat things, but the guy still can't get a pack of cigarettes, okay? He gets carded everywhere he goes, but goddamn it, can he throw that pigskin? Other news here, the Cowboys are keeping it classy, as always, Nate. You know how much I enjoyed them. So I think we'll see where this takes, where this goes. But Sam Williams was arrested, their edge rusher, on Sunday, charges of possession of controlled substance and unlawful carrying of a weapon. Do you think, Jerry, it just seems like a free-for-all down there in Dallas. I mean, how much of a major hit? I mean, the guy had pretty good stats from last season. He was a little bit of a home wrecker in the backfield. So you think they're going to be all right, or what the hell's going on here?
It's not enough to impact Dallas.
Okay.
Dallas is going to be good regardless if that guy plays or not.
Okay.
He's a nice player. He can get in the backfield, like you said. He'll make some plays. But Dallas, honestly, I don't know if you guys agree, but Dallas on paper is one of the best teams in football. There's no question to me. Do they live up to the potential? I don't know. I personally don't know. But, you got to think they got to break this nearly 30-year drought with all the talent that they have, right? I mean, they're like the Los Angeles Angels of NFL. How many years can you have this freaking talent and just not win or not get over the hump? It's craziness to me. I understand there's been some guys that have probably been overpaid. Ezekiel Elliott probably was overpaid, especially the last couple years at the end. Is Dak Prescott overpaid? Probably slightly. Some of their defensive guys over the years overpaid? Probably. But still, they've accumulated so much talent. They've made some great additions on defense. So I don't know. I don't think that's enough to impact them. And even if it is, Jerry's going to go get somebody or something. He'll make something happen. He wants to get it done. He's a desperate guy, I think, these days.
Right. Cole?
Spot on, Nate. I got nothing to say about the Cowboys.
I tell you,
everyone talks about every year is the freaking Cowboys, and they don't do anything. Or they do, and then they blow it. I mean, I don't know. I guess I agree with Nate. They got a talented roster. It's just a matter of let's see what happens. Right. Speaking of the Cowboys, did their offensive lineman ever show up yet?
I think Zach Martin got a deal.
He did get a deal? I haven't seen anything. I didn't see anything. I didn't know if he got his deal or not.
Yeah, that was a big move, getting Zach Martin. I mean, I think he's had like more Pro Bowl selections than penalties in his career or something. It's absurd how consistent he is as a lineman, and they don't get their name in the paper, but when you see stats like that, it's like, man, that's pretty special. Right. Another thing about their offseason, it's Stephon Gilmore back there with Trayvon Diggs. I don't know who's completing passes on him, especially when you got people like Micah Parsons breathing down your neck. Good luck passing on these guys. So if their offense can keep it together and stay healthy, if Dak can stay healthy for once, holy crap, they should be good. Although, I don't know, the Eagles are going to be a tough matchup in their division. The Giants are going to be a tough matchup in their division. And as much as people like to pick on the Commanders are no slouch either. They're well coached, and they got some talent too. So that's no easy fight in that division.
Right. No, Sam Howell impressed the shit out of me, I think, last week. So, I mean, we'll see where it goes. But it was a good tie in there. Cole, I don't know if you meant to do that with the lineman showing up to practice. Chris Jones, Nate, for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's saying he's not coming until week 8. He doesn't give a shit. He wants paid. So I guess another thing, he's impactful, though. I think they really need to get a deal done. Do you think they get the deal done by the start of the season, or is this guy going to sit out and pull a Le'Veon Bell? I mean, what do you think?
Go ahead, Nate. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I feel like I'm.
Call her, Nate. Yeah, I'll go
call
switch
it.
over to call next.
I'll say Chris Jones. I don't think is coming before week 1.
Wow. Okay.
Do I think the Chiefs need him for a few games? No, the Chiefs are pretty good. They'll find a way to win, and even if they don't win those games without Chris Jones, the Chiefs aren't a team to panic over.
No,
you know what I mean. It's like that. It's like those Seattle teams a few years ago. They always would start out 2-2 and 3-3. I felt like every year, and they'd go, "Oh, they're in trouble." And it's like, no, they're not. Yeah, they're 6 games in. They got 10 games to play, and then they'd win 8 of the next 10, and they'd be right in the top of the division or one of the top teams in the NFC. I don't know. The Chiefs are, a mini dynasty here, similar to that Seahawks team and the Patriots. As much as I hate to say it, but yeah. No, if Chris Jones doesn't show up for a couple of games, I don't think it'll be that impactful. But maybe even having a fresh Chris Jones a few games in, maybe that's even better. Get some guys worn out, and he comes in fresh. Maybe gets a new money and maybe some motivation. I don't know.
Okay. Cole, I think he's a jackass. But what do you think?
I guess I agree with Nate here. I don't know when they'll sign him. I'm sure they will, but I mean, week 1's coming like before you could blink here. It's coming real soon, so I don't know if they're going to get a deal done. But like, what I think is, this is going away from Jones here, but Jonathan Taylor is on the trade market, and I think this, as much as it pains me that the Chiefs are a top landing spot for him. Not taken away from Pacheco, right. But I mean, Jonathan Taylor or Pacheco, it's not like they're like another team in the league that's got a good back right now. And when I saw that the other day, I was like, you know what? Those bastards are going to end up trading for him and paying him what he needs and what he wants. That's why I think that they're not going to pay Jones right now, because they got something, up their sleeve, and try to reel in Jonathan Taylor here before the season gets going.
No, but okay, Cole, don't get pissed at me. But what do you think's going on with Josh Jacobs? It's still in the air. In his status for week 1 still remains to be determined. So what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, I don't care. It's whatever. I mean, look, like Saquon Barkley. I'm not saying he's better than Josh Jacobs or he's worse. I think they're identically almost the same players. Right. In their own particular categories. Right. Barkley said, "I'm not coming. I'm going to sit out till I get my money." A week later, he took his $11 million deal or $10 million and signed for a year. All right, so he realized they're not going to pay me, even though everyone in the league needs running backs. That's just how it is. And Josh Jacobs isn't going to get his pay. I don't think so. I mean, they gave him, I think, 1 year, and they offered him $12 million. Or 13, I don't remember. He said no. Right. But so I don't know what he's gonna do. I mean, it's whatever. I'm not surprised. It's the Raiders. There's always something going on. But I don't know. We'll see. If he does, great, and if he doesn't, well, I guess we'll just ride with what we got and whatever. Just throw the ball.
Right. What's pissing me off is I got so many cards of him, and I'm not able to sell them because of the value, because they don't know what the hell's going on. So, Josh, if you're listening to this, make a goddamn decision, okay? I mean, what the hell? You think what do you think? I mean, that's another.
So that's tough, man. This running back situation in the NFL, we harp on it here. I feel like every episode.
It's fucked, though.
It sucks for these guys. It's a shame. Cole, I agree with you, man. I think he's got to take what he's got on the table. Yeah. Like, the only way to earn more, I think, now is just keep producing. Like, as terrible as that says, because these guys are workhorses. Yep. Jacobs is no doubt one of the best backs in the league, and coming off his best season, I believe he led the league in rushing. I mean, that just sucks because he's has his best year, and it's like, I really want paid now. I think he took a 1-year deal last year, or 2-year deal a couple years ago to like kind of patch it.
I believe so.
Now he wants a big deal, and it's probably not coming.
Yeah.
You can patch the running back position by committee, through the draft, through cheap free agency. It's crazy to see some of these guys fall from grace. I mean, Melvin Gordon,
Oh,
goodness gracious, 5 years ago, maybe the best back in football, and now he's barely making a roster. Got cut from the Broncos because he lipped off to Russell Wilson. And now he's the 18th millionth running back that the Ravens have, because they always have 18 million of them, because whether it's the training staff letting them all get hurt or they just run the football 3,000 times a season, they need them. So, I mean, that's just the reality of it.
They're crash dummies. I mean, that's what they are, Nate. I mean,
yeah. I mean, last year, the Baltimore Ravens had what was ranked as the worst training staff in the NFL.
Yes.
And if you guys remember, they had 3 running backs tear their ACL, tear their Achilles in 9 days. They had to end practice like 2 or 3 times and say, we got to get these guys out of here because our guys keep getting hurt.
Right.
And they lost some really good running backs a couple years ago because of that. And they actually fired their entire performance staff because they weren't getting it done. They were rushing these guys back or taking too long to get them back and overcompensating. So fresh regime there. But yeah, no, that's how the Ravens operate. But yeah, this running back situation just sucks, man. Yeah. It just sucks.
I would say, the last time I was on this show, a little hiatus here, but I said we were talking about Darren Waller for some reason. I don't remember why, but I said the Raiders paid Darren Waller. He went and played about 2 games, took his money and ran, said I was hurt, out making rap videos, right? So you get the argument for the running back situation for Josh Jacobs, right? But then you also got to understand what they just did with Darren Waller, and they don't want to repeat it. Right. So it's a tough go for running backs, clearly, but at the same time, if you look at it from the other perspective, it's, you did put up your career numbers, but they didn't want to jump the gun and do it. So, as a Raider fan, we'll see what happens. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Well, and we'll touch on later here for all the beautiful people out there. I know me and Trevor touched on it, but I want to hear some of Nate and Cole's projections for the season. But big thing here for both you fellas out there, I believe there's been a lot of haters on Kenny Pickett currently wearing his jersey. He's saying nothing counts right now in the preseason, but he's liking how things are looking. I'll tell you right now. From the last game that he played last season to the game, the first preseason game and the game I saw him, he looks very goddamn composed, and he looks. I'm telling you, Cole, I know you love the Raiders, but the Steelers, people better have them on their fucking radar because
they're always good because they always got a good defense. So it doesn't their defense keeps them in the game. Now you have a quarterback that's coming uprising. I mean, look what he did last year. He played pretty well, I thought, for the most part. And so far this preseason, he's tearing it up. Now, granted, he's probably throwing against most second-string, third-string defenses, but that's not the point. It's just how fluent things are going, how they're looking, and everything. I didn't watch any Steelers preseason games, but by looking at all the stats and stuff, and looking at the drives and stuff, I think they're going to be a tough team to battle against both offensively and defensively. So that AFC North is going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Nate, I have it right next to me here while we're talking. So if I look off camera, I'm trying to see what the hell's going on over there. Okay, so
good.
I mean, it's not much of a game right now.
You got the backups in now. You're good.
I love that Darnell Washington. God damn it. But Nate, what do you think here?
Yeah. I'm one of those guys that it's probably the Penn Stater in me that just can't get behind Kenny Pickett yet until he proves me that he can do it. He had more interceptions than touchdowns last year. He didn't beat Mitchell Trubisky out to be the start at the beginning. Had some tough moments, but I will say this. Look, I'm not going to let the Penn State bias always control me. He got better as the season went on. He did. He looks better so far right now, but I'll tell you straight up, it's the preseason, like Cole said. I don't care if you can throw touchdown passes against the Atlanta Falcons backups, who are probably the worst backups in the league.
Honestly. I would agree.
They're one of the worst teams in the league right now. No offense to anybody that likes the Falcons. They're in a rebuilding mode, and that's just the reality of it. Right. I hope they turn it around. They had a great few years there just a few years ago when Matty Ice was the MVP. They went to the Super Bowl. Now, we don't speak about what happened in the Super Bowl, but they were a pretty nice team for a long time.
Yes, it was.
So, I don't know. Kenny Pickett, he's getting better. He was the only first rounder of that draft. And some people didn't even think a quarterback was worth taking in the first 3 rounds of that draft. Malik Willis went from possible top 10 pick to 3rd rounder.
Right. So
crazier things have happened, but I don't know. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Kenny. He's gotten better. He's putting in the work. So I'll give him that. I saw a thing that he gained like 15 pounds of muscle, and every incompletion that he threw last year in the regular season, he went back and watched the rep to try to learn what he did wrong on it. Whether it's he just threw a bad pass, he read, somebody ran the wrong route, he read it wrong, he threw it wrong, he was late out of his break, late out of his fake, whatever. He watched the film on all of like 124 incompletions or whatever it was last year to try to get better. So how am I, who's a couch potato, going to criticize a guy for doing that? You know what I mean? I'm not going to get on the show and do that to the guy. I hope he succeeds. So I don't know. I'm just not completely sold on him. And it's when you have a quarterback as stable as Ben Roethlisberger on the field, that is, for 20 years, it's pretty hard to just replace that guy overnight, like with a snap of fingers,
Right. No, we'll see where it goes. I'm very high on him. We got the weapons we need. But here's a big conversation I've been talking shit to a lot of Buccaneers fans. I don't feel we talk enough shit on or have talked enough about them. So do you think they were not ready for Tom Brady's departure? I mean, they named Baker Mayfield the starter. I am not impressed by him. I've never been impressed by him, even when he was on the Cleveland Browns. I call him a certain thing that I'm not going to say on the show. But what do you think he has a good season with the Bucs? And this is, I believe he's on a 1-year deal. I might be okay. So you think he gets a year extension, or what do you think happens here? Cool.
I think it's a roller coaster, honestly. That's how his NFL career's been so far. Now, granted, he was with the Browns there for a while, but he has his goods and then he has his bads. But, I mean, that's every quarterback, but his just seemed to be more of a tendency of up, down, and so far with everything in training camp and preseason games, neither him or Kyle Trask have opened anyone's eyes of going, ooh, there's my quarterback this year. So, I mean, I don't know. I like Baker. I like his attitude. He don't take no shit. He wants to win, but I don't know. I'm rooting for him. I hope he does good. I don't think they were ready for Tom Brady to retire.
God, no.
Just yet. I think they were hoping for one more year out of him. They didn't get it. Now they're going to Baker. Hopefully he lights it up. He's got some weapons there, but I don't know. It's not going to be where it was the last couple of years when you had Tom Brady swinging the ball around and knowing every potential defensive play that was out there because he's so smart and so good. So we'll see what happens. I hope he does good, but once again, it's kind of flip a coin and see where it goes.
Yeah, I feel like the only guarantees in life are death taxes and a 1,000-yard receiving season from Mike Evans, no matter who throws in the football. Right. So he's got some weapons. They got some guys down there. They did lose a lot, though. I think that here's the new wave of the NFL. Mm-hmm. You're having super teams. It was about time. You know what I mean? The NBA has been doing it for a long time, almost 2 decades. Start with the big 3 in Boston. That's kind of when super teams started, to me anyway. So maybe 15 years, 16 years, or whatever it is. Now it's happening in the NFL. You had the Rams, and now they stink. And now they're stuck with an old Matthew Stafford with a surgically repaired neck, Cooper Kupp off another knee injury, and then they're stuck paying Bobby Wagner to compete against them for the Seahawks for the next potentially 4 years because it didn't work out with him and various other things. They have the most rookies in the NFL on the Rams. But what I'm getting to is the Buccaneers did the same thing. They built super teams for the last 3 seasons, and they got a Super Bowl out of it. So did the Rams. Good for them. Those franchises were hungry for a Super Bowl. LA needed a Super Bowl. Tampa Bay, they're the worst franchise in the NFL history if you look by winning percentage. They do have 2 Super Bowls, but they got the second one because pretty much Tom Brady and supporting cast were insane. So now it's time for these programs, these organizations to kind of take their licks for building a super team. That's just what happens. It's the reality of it. A quarterback retires. You can't pay everybody. Whatever happens. But that is the formula for the New York Jets this year too. That's how they're doing it. They're backloading Aaron Rodgers' contract, and they're building a super team right now. So if the trend continues, is it the Jets hosting the Lombardi Trophy at the end? I don't know, but that's what it looks like to me if that trend continues as of the last couple of years.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see. Tampa Bay, they knew this was going to happen, and I don't know. This is an audition for Baker to see if he's worth being a starting quarterback in the NFL as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see how he does. It's going to be an interesting season. It helps that division is not very good.
Yes,
so
division sucks ass.
it stinks. The Saints probably are on paper the best team. Maybe the Panthers have a chance. Bryce Young's a special talent. They got Thielen. They got Miles Sanders. They got a better defense than what they had. I think, what is it? Jace Horn's a pretty good defensive player for them, I think. So they got some players, but Atlanta and Tampa Bay, they're not very good on paper to me.
No. And it's, we'll see what comes of it. But, next thing was, and I already kind of alluded to it, was Sam Howell's performance. I still want fucking Taylor Heineke in a Commanders jersey. I just want to get clear. Like, seeing him on the sidelines on the Falcons drives me nuts. I think they should have gave him a chance. I know they drafted Sam Howell to replace him, but God damn it, Taylor Heineke's energy, Nate Cole. I mean, fuck. Come on. I mean, how can't you love that kind of guy?
Yeah.
You got teammates telling the coaches in the front office, we want to play with this guy. We want him as our quarterback, and they just completely – and maybe they get over it because it's a business. You know what it is. They're getting paid. They need to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? They don't make the decisions. But I don't know. What do you think? You think Howell's the future for whatever the hell they're going to be called? Because they have a copyright issue. So
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good audition for Sam Howell too.
Right.
He's doing all the right things. He just got to execute, though. You know what I mean? Like he's trying like crazy, and I'm going to, tip my cap to the guy. He's done a lot of things right. He looks like a nice player. He looks better than I thought he was going to be personally. Not that I thought he was going to be bad. I just didn't know how much he'd play. You don't know how much some of these guys are going to play. They get drafted in the later rounds. So I'm rooting for him. I think they'll have some upset wins this year in Commanders fashion. That's how they always play. They always win a few tough divisional games for whatever reason. They keep it close, low scoring, and they kind of grind it out. Right. That's the Ron Rivera recipe for success a lot of times. So, yeah, I don't know. Is Heineke going to start for Atlanta, or is it going to be Desmond Ridder? Because Desmond Ridder, he's a dang good football player too. He's a winner, man. He's not always the flashiest, the purest arm talent, but he wins, man. He won a lot of games at Cincinnati, and he's probably one of the more undervalued players coming out of that draft for sure. Just a lot of quarterbacks were taken in front of him.
Right. Cool. What do you think?
I
know you haven't watched a lot of preseason.
No, I like Taylor Heineke when he played. He was a definition of a grinder.
Right.
Grinded every play that he played, whether it was going good, bad. That's the kind of guy, like you said, players, I want to play with this guy, But you also did say, DB, it's a business, and that's exactly what it is. They draft Sam Howell, which he's a good player. He had a good career in North Carolina, and he's been lighting it up this preseason. So I'm actually anxious to see how he does. I hope he does good. That's someone I'm rooting for. The Commanders is one of those teams that haven't been good for years now. So when they're winning games or hanging in games, you're always pulling for them. Ron Rivera said, I think he's a great coach. And then Jack Del Rio is your defensive coordinator. And their defense is always tough.
Yep.
I think they could make a little bit of noise this year, but I think it comes down to, how Sam Howell plays. Clearly there's going to be some downs, but I think there's a lot of positive upside to him. So once again, it's one of those guys. I hope he does well, but flip a coin and see what happens.
Yeah. No. And then the other thing too, and this going off the fucking script here a little bit. Hard Knocks, I'm watching it. I literally bought HBO Max, subscribed to it just so I could watch this shit because everybody's on Hard Knocks. This happened, I'm watching other podcasts and shit. So I'm watching it. So I didn't realize, and I don't know how it slipped past my fucking alerts on NFL News. I'm going to have to talk to those guys. Dalvin Cook goes to the Jets.
How did you not know that?
I kind of live in a box for a little bit. I've been fucking playing Madden 12 hours a day here, Cole. It's been a little bit of an issue. But
for your top 20 road yet or what?
No. I gotta. They're in the chat right now, but we have a good. I got to get you on there. I got to add you. But Breece Hall, they draft him. Nate, I would be a little pissed off if I was Breece Hall. I know maybe it's to kick him in the ass, but you think Breece Hall beats him out, or is Dalvin Cook going to be taking the starting role there?
Breece Hall might not play week 1, so
that's right.
And then Dalvin Cook's only been with the team for 2 weeks. They also have Abanikanda from Pitt, who's played his ass off. Too bad he has a thigh contusion. Otherwise, goodness gracious, I think you start that kid for week 1. I don't give a crap what anybody's saying.
He's an animal.
He's running like a machine.
Yes.
And I'm not even a Pitt fan, but I'm not biased. I'm not that stinking biased, for goodness sakes.
Right.
So I don't know, man. What a problem to have all these running backs. I mean, they had so many, and they got Michael Carter on their roster too.
Yeah.
Holy crap. How much do you need? That's what I'm saying. These super teams, man, like they got serviceable running backs. I mean, how many more do you need? And then they lose Corey Davis to retirement yesterday. It doesn't even matter. Right. You lose a top 10 pick from the draft within the last decade, who actually had a decent season last year, even with Zach Wilson and Flacco and Mike White and whoever the crap else throwing in the ball. And you lose Corey Davis to retirement in his 20s, and it doesn't even matter because they have an insane offense. Right. So yeah, I don't know who's going to start. Does it really matter though? Probably not. Like you got arguably the GOAT, or one of the GOATs at quarterback. Probably Tom's the GOAT, but Aaron Rodgers is maybe more talented than Brady is. Brady just won more and played on better teams, played for a more stable organization on average. But no, man, it doesn't matter who starts a running back, though. I don't think so.
Yeah, it was a debate on Reddit, and I said, fuck it, that sounds like a good topic. Let's just –
It doesn't matter, man.
I know. No. But you forgot somebody else they have on their roster. Free Blue. Or no, Blue Free. You got Roger's girlfriend, baby. You got, she's on there. She's watching in the stands with her fucking peyote and, her dream catchers. Nate, that's also, I think, going to help the Jets win the Super Bowl. It does not matter the play on the field. It's all this other hysteria going on in the stands with her. That's the beauty of it.
Jets fans don't care what it takes. They just want a Super Bowl. They've won one of them, but waiting from Super Bowl 3, the Chiefs waited 50 years. Now the Jets are waiting 50 plus.
Right.
They're ready. They'll do anything. They'll do unspeakable things for this, I think.
They won the Super Bowl this year.
You don't think so, Cole?
No.
Okay.
I mean, would it be cool? Hell yeah. But are they gonna? I don't think so.
Well, I mean, if she's having gatherings and rituals outside the stadium before their home games, I don't know what the fuck might happen.
Probably just on the team more than it's helping the team.
Right.
Yeah. all I know is it can't be worse than Brittany Mahomes. My God.
Jesus.
She
made an ass out of herself on that Netflix documentary, and I don't feel bad.
We already knew. We already knew it before.
We did.
Magnification into the matter. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, oh my God. You go from Kirk Cousins reading the bedtime stories to his kids to look at our $50 million mansion. I'm like, you got fucking jackasses and make me sick. Yeah, I'm just being honest. And he prays before he prays in the car.
Move on from the Mahomes. I can't stand him.
Sorry, Cole. I apologize.
I can't stand his brother. He's the worst.
They're bad, man.
Yeah, he got him. He got himself in a nice situation. But, anyways, I know Nate has some topics he wants to touch on here. I'll throw it his way for a little bit, and then we'll finish off with some betting. Cole, whatever you want to, throw it in there.
So Cole's not sold on the Jets.
No,
that's what he's saying here.
Yes.
I want to talk about the playoff picture.
Okay.
Because as I see it, I see 21 contenders as of, this. I think there's 9 teams that have no chance. That's how I kind of came up with it. Like teams to me, the Buccaneers, the Falcons, they have no chance. The Cardinals, they have no chance to me. I'm just going to throw out who I think the 21 teams are that have a chance to make the playoffs. I don't necessarily consider them all contenders, but if you're in the playoffs, anything can happen. So I'll start with the AFC, which, as we have pretty much alluded to in a roundabout way on this show tonight, it's loaded. There are so many good teams. The only teams I think do not have a chance to make the playoffs are the Texans, the Titans, me personally, the Colts, and the Raiders. Sorry, Cole. I don't think the Raiders are getting it done. I just don't think there's enough there. I think they have good, talented players, just not enough of it. And their division's stacked. It's just
their division's stacked.
It sucks. It absolutely sucks. So I'll say my 7 AFC picks.
Okay.
Not in any order. I'm not picking the orders, the division winners, all that crap.
Oh, Nate, that's what the people want. I'm just kidding.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
I know. I'm just fucking.
You just get in, you got a chance.
Right.
So I'm saying the Bengals, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Broncos, Ravens, Jets, Patriots. And notice how I did not say the Steelers.
I saw that when you said it to me. I'm like,
because
DB's face right there is just pure shame.
Yeah. And I'm a Steelers fan.
no, I know.
It's so hard in that division, man.
I know.
It's so difficult.
It's a tough.
That's the only reason. And here's the worst part. I think the Steelers are going to have a winning record and not make it 9-8 because Tomlin's not allowed to have a losing season. It's just like it's the other guarantee in life. It's the fourth guarantee in life. Death, taxes, Mike Evans' 1,000-yard season, and Mike Tomlin having a winning record. So I want to know, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that that's a solid list? Is there anybody that you think could get in there? Because like the Browns, Steelers, Chargers, I mean, you can't really argue with them. So anybody that you think stands out, you disagree with me on, I want to hear from you guys.
I would say I like your list. I do. I would, if I had to pick, I would say Bills, Jets, Chiefs, Chargers, Bengals, Steelers, and then there's a toss-up between the Ravens. There's the Patriots. The Dolphins might even be a contender.
Yep, another one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say Broncos. No, I don't like that one, but I could be completely wrong, and you could be completely right. Do they have a good team? And they got Sean Payton as the coach. Yes, I think Russell Wilson's on the downhill slide right now. He was last year. They weren't that great, but I don't. Right. I think for the Broncos, it all depends on how he plays offensively. But Absolutely. For the most part, it's pretty much spot on with your list. You know the Chiefs are going to be there. You know the Bills are going to be there. The Jets should be there. You know,
Bengals better be there too.
Bengals will be there. So the Ravens, the Steelers, the Dolphins, you know, those teams, it's basically, you know, once again, flip a coin and, you know, they could be there or they could completely fall off the face of the earth this season.
What do you think, DB? I want to know what because obviously you're picking the Steelers to win the whole dang thing.
Well, I'll tell you, I think they make it to, and it even hurts me to say this, I think they make it, and everybody's going to say I'm bold. I'm looking right in the camera. So if you're watching, I'm looking right in your eyes when I say this. I think they're going to lose in the AFC Championship game. I do. Wow. I think they're going to be right there, and they're going to fucking break my heart. So I'd be okay if they don't. I don't know. It's a toss-up. But I'll tell you right now, and me and Trevor went over it, and Nate, I think even an prior episode we were on, all these projections, there's not a standout team that I'm seeing from I've been looking on fucking CBS, Fox, NFL Network, all over the, First Take, what have you. There's not a standout team. Like they're all in 11 wins, 12 wins, 13 wins. There's not like a fucking Eagles going on a undefeated streak here. Yeah. Like that's what's just kind of, and I mean, the bets I put in, I'm concerned with them now. One team I think is going to shit the bed. I always do. Dolphins. They shit. They fucking, I don't know what the hell happens. Last year, I talked about it. Tua, they handled that situation completely wrong, and we better not see that this season. And a player gets hurt, and they bring him back way too early. And I think the Bengals fall off because I just can't stand Who Dey. What the fuck does that even mean? You stole it from the Saints. All right. And the Bills, you know how I feel about the Bills. I think they make it, but some reason they just can't get over that fucking hump. I don't know what the hell it is.
They can stay up hump and keep falling down. I hope they don't win.
Oh, you love Bills Mafia, Cole. Come
on. No, I don't.
That's from up here.
They're worse than Steelers fans now.
Yeah, they got bad pretty quick. Yeah. The Bills sucking our whole lives. I also didn't go to Bonas, so that that helps. I lived with big time Penguins fans. I was never the biggest into hockey, and because of that, I can't stand the Penguins. I root for everybody but the Penguins in the NHL because I can't stand that. So it's probably a similar situation to you guys with the Bills. I will say this. I'm going to say one other thing about the AFC, and then we'll move on to NFC.
Yes, sir.
I really don't like the Dolphins for one reason. It's not Tua. It's they blitz at such a high rate, and Jalen Ramsey might not play this season at all, or much of the season.
Right.
So you got this big guy who's your ball hawk back there that was supposed to replace what I think is not a great secondary, not a great defense overall. They have to blitz because if they don't get to the quarterback, they just get picked apart. Yeah. Their division's going to be really good again. I mean, the Jets got better, the Patriots got better, and the Bills are still the Bills. I know they've lost some weapons, but Josh Allen's talent's insane. Yes. Stephon Diggs, even if he's pissed off, he's pretty dang good at football. Yes. They added some more weapons on offense, and I think that if they can just freaking stay healthy on defense at all, they're going to be okay. So, and then I'll say this. The reason that I don't think the Chargers are going to be any good is, first of all, for whatever freaking reason, the San Diego or Los Angeles Chargers just have, I don't know, the worst luck ever. I don't know why. And it's just like, they had such a disappointing end last year. Okay, well, they're playing in a division that's also pretty good. And then I'll say the actual reason why I don't think that they're going to be good is because I think Brandon Staley is just not worthy of being the head coach. I just don't think he should be the head coach there. I think he could have been fired after his first year. Honestly, how do you call a timeout in that game? I know this was 2 seasons ago. How do you call a timeout there and keep your job?
Right.
Oh yeah.
How do you go up 4 scores in a playoff game and blow it to a team that has like the least amount of playoff experience of like any team in that postseason, I believe, and they just blow it?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't complete a pass. Like, honestly, they could have ran the ball the rest of the game and had a better chance to win than what they did. Like, that's horrible.
Well, and going for it at the 25-yard line at your own.
All of it. The
play like I do, man.
Guys.
Gosh. Like, I don't know what it's like to be an NFL head coach, but I'm sorry. Some of these decisions.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
So, all right. Enough AFC.
Oh, you're good, sir.
NFC. I don't know. A little bit more unpredictable to me. There's some good teams, sure, but there's a lot of question marks, in my opinion. So I see 10 contenders. I'm rocking with Eagles, 49ers, Lions, Vikings, Seahawks, Giants, Saints, Panthers, Cowboys, Rams, and Packers as contenders. I don't think all these teams are that great. I think there's going to be a couple surprises in the NFC this year. I don't think everybody expected the Eagles to be that good.
No.
Like that good. I think they expected them to be good, but not that good. The Giants, nobody expected them to be that good. Heck, make the playoffs last year, especially with they're a piss poor receiving core in seriousness, and they made a nice run. Right. But yeah, if I were to pick, I'm picking the Eagles, the Cowboys, the 49ers, Lions, Giants, Vikings, and Panthers. That's who I'm picking. Or I'm sorry, and Saints, not Panthers. Saints over Panthers. That's who I'm picking. So I don't know. What do you guys think? The NFC wide open to me, man. The Eagles are obviously pretty good, but there's a lot of teams that we don't know. They look good last year, but who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, I would say if I had to pick off the top of my head, I would say, they take 7.
Yeah.
You got the Eagles, the Cowboys. I would say the Giants. I think the Giants get over the hump.
Yeah,
they were good last year. They just kind of blew. They pissed some games away. Away too. But there's 3. I would say the Vikings. Then I would go the Saints because they probably win the division.
Right.
And then I would say San Francisco, and then you could have a toss-up between like the Lions and the Seahawks around for that last wild card. Maybe even the Panthers, the Rams. Can't forget about the Rams. They might be potentially, but pretty much. I agree with you. I think it's pretty wide open. But my top 2 teams out of the NFC East or out of the NFC would probably be the Niners and the Eagles.
Right.
I think you could see a rematch of that one again.
I'm going to throw a fucking thing out here. Again, alluding to the quarterback documentary on Netflix. I want Kirk Cousins in that NFC championship game against the goddamn Eagles. I want the Vikings Eagles. I just want him to get there, not win it. Just so I'm a real big fan of him after that documentary. And I really and the way the media has attacked him over the years, I'm like, oh, this guy's a jackass. And then you actually put him in front of a camera and see him in his everyday life. He's a decent fucking guy. You know what I mean? He's class.
If you look up his stats, his career, he's had a very, very, very good career. Like people shit all over him, and he's actually he's done more than most people probably expected him to do. As you said, the media will try to portray you as something you're really not, and I couldn't agree more with you, DB. He seems like an absolute beauty of a human being. So I hope they do some good and get to where they want to go. I don't think they're going to clearly ain't winning it this year, but I hope they make playoffs, make a little run.
Right. I mean, he's at the bookstore buying books like a normal fucking guy on a Tuesday.
It's his day off, man. You got to do something with the fam. That's what he does. Man.
I mean, that's just, I don't know. I love him. If you haven't watched it yet, you got to watch it. And if you haven't watched the Johnny Manziel documentary, you got to watch that too. But Nick, keep going with your. We could talk. I don't want to take over your segment.
Started watching Swamp Kings tonight. That was good.
That's Swamp Kings. Yeah. That's good.
I got to watch that, but I'm hearing some not so great things. And I'm sorry, but if anybody portrays Urban Meyer as like a stand-up citizen, you need to check yourself. I'm sorry.
Well, finger guns on the dance floor, huh?
Yeah, not a big Urban guy.
I'm not either, but I only watched the first episode. I thought it was good so far, but definitely not a Meyer fan.
Yeah, I got to see it for myself, but we'll see what happens there. All right, so I'm gonna throw out my Super Bowl pick, the matchup, and then who I think's winning. DB's gonna hate it, of course. Because it's like two of his least favorite teams, but I try not to bring my bias of the teams I dislike versus the teams I like into this the best that I possibly can. I try to keep as neutral as I can. I am picking the Bengals because I think they're so due over another team that I think is incredibly due and had a great offseason, I think, the Cowboys.
Oh,
I know. And nobody's going to like that. But, my gosh, could you guys think of two more teams that are due?
Oh, come on, Nick.
Holy smokes. These teams on paper are really good. And they're going to face good competition in the season all season long because they had good records last year, so they play first and second place schedules.
Right.
And then the AFC North, there's no off games. So that's 6 built-in really good games for the Bengals. And then the Cowboys play 6 really good games with the Eagles, Giants, and Washington. So I think those are going to be battle-tested teams that have loaded rosters. And if they stay healthy, I think they could be right there at the end.
Cole, you can take this, or I'm going to go off the handle a little bit. I'll tell you, though. Mike no, Nate, not like – I agree with you. But I'll tell you right now, I think if the Cowboys don't at least make it to that NFC championship or the round right before it, Mike McCarthy's fucking gone. I do not think they could stay on this path with him because Jerry wants to win, damn it. And if Jerry's not winning, the Hoochies aren't coming. So, that's just how it's going. But I could see, Cowboys, that would be – I've not seen that anywhere. So I might actually put that in. I'm going to literally take that information and just put that in at like a $5 bet. Just see what the fuck happens right there.
All right.
I don't disagree with it.
Yeah.
I'm just happy you didn't put the Ratbirds in there. I would have maybe had a fucking hemorrhage on camera. I mean, that would have been a problem.
Yeah. They're going to be good. They're going to be good. But I don't think their passing offense is enough.
No.
And if they got the weapons,
no,
I don't think it will be enough.
Right.
But who knows? That's why they play the games, man.
Cole, what do you think on that?
No, I like it. I don't even want to make a pick of who I would choose in the NFL.
Yeah, it's hard.
Well, this year, I'm not sure. Give me like a week or 2 or 3 or 4. what's going on before I give you that prediction. But yeah, I don't hate it, and they're definitely two teams that are due. If I had to pick which one, I would probably say the Bengals more than the Cowboys.
Yeah,
but they're both
Steelers,
due.
Vikings. In an ideal world,
matchup with how much you've turned Kirk Cousins as like one of your favorite players. And honestly, Sam, I think he's a great guy. I always thought he was a good guy. I didn't realize how good of a guy he was.
Right.
And he is Mr. Stat Patter, but it's not his fault. He's just trying to win. It's not like he's Russell Westbrooking it out there. And even if I don't even necessarily think he always padded his stats, by the way, to the fullest, but sometimes I think he did. But no, he puts up empty stats and he doesn't win. He doesn't win the big games. That's the thing about Kirk. It's the only thing. It's about the worst thing I could even say about the guy.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Yeah. No. But
so, all right. Moving on. Award predictions is this is who I think. I mean, goodness gracious, it's so hard to pick this, but I wanted to bring a little bit of discussion about it. Who I'm picking for the awards. I'm picking Joe Burrow for MVP. He's due for one. He's going to put up stats. I mean, goodness, if he's going to the Super Bowl in my picks, then he's probably putting up some good stats to get there. Rookie of the Year, Bryce Young. I think he has a great opportunity to put up a lot of stats in a division that's not very good. He's going to see some pretty weak defenses. The Saints have a good defense, but still you're going to face you're in the worst conference, the NFC. I think that he's going to put up some really, really good stats. As long as he stays healthy, I think he's got a good chance. Right. Defensive rookie, I'm picking someone like Jalen Carter. He slipped in the draft. He was the number one player. Don't love his character. He did some pretty sketchy things at Georgia, but goodness gracious, can this dude play football? He's so talented, an amazing pass rusher, amazing just football player in general. And for AP Offensive Player of the Year, or Defensive Player of the Year, that is, I'm picking Micah Parsons.
Oh, no.
He's the obvious choice. I mean, goodness, this guy's special. Oh my goodness. He has legit potential. And people say this crap all the time, but legit, he could go down as one of the best football players of all time if he stays on this pace for another decade or 8-10 years. Because what he's doing is like almost unheard of. He goes from middle linebacker to edge rusher, and he's still ridiculously good at it. And I know that he was doing some of that stuff in his hybrid position, but this guy's different, man. I don't even know what to say. Like, there's not many built like him.
Right.
So that's my pick. Pretty obvious one there. And I'm going to say AP Offensive Player of the Year, Kirk Cousins.
All right.
He's got some weapons, man, and they're going to throw it. They're going to freaking throw it. You lost Dalvin Cook. You got Madison back there, who's decent. He's had a nice career for himself. He's been serviceable when Cook's been out. He's a dual threat running back. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. But they're going to throw it 50 times a game. Kevin O'Connell wants to throw that thing around. And I know their defense got better, but they're still throwing it. They're going to be down. They're going to be in some high-scoring affairs. So Kirk, I think, is going to be a 5,000-yard passer, second year in this offense. That's my pick for AP Offensive Player of the Year.
Oh.
So I don't know. Anybody want to throw out any predictions about any of those awards?
I'm gonna have to put Rodgers and Josh up there with fucking Burrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just I don't know. That's just a really unknown answer. They look really good on Hard Knocks with their connections, and you're seeing the behind the scenes shit, but I never bet on the Jets. Never have. And I never bet on the Giants because they break my fucking heart. And then who's another? Texans. I just stay fucking clear of those three teams.
Those are the teams that you bet on and they fuck you, and then you bet against them and they still fuck you.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's bullshit. It's that's the only thing though. Every other one, TJ, you gotta. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. And now, if Myles fucking Garrett somehow is again above him, that burns me every goddamn. I think Max Crosby's actually better than Myles Garrett. I'm going to be honest with you.
Those three guys you mentioned, they're right there with Parsons. They're top five guys for Defensive Player of the Year. you can't go wrong with any of them. Huh?
No.
If they all stay healthy, goodness, it's so hard to pick. And sometimes there's like a bias of like their team success goes on with Aaron Donald. How do you pick against Aaron Donald? Yeah. He might be the best defensive player of all time when he's retired. Right. You know, it's going to be people like him and Lawrence Taylor and Ray Lewis. They're right there. Right. You know? Yeah. So
I agree with your picks. You know, I agree with DB with like Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers up there. I agree with Micah Parsons. That would have been my pick too. Even though you PJ Watt, you got Crosby. Those are, I mean, Aaron Donald. The only one that I would think, you know, clearly, you know, rookie, and if, you know, rookie, you had Bryce Young, right?
Right.
Clearly, if a quarterback puts up numbers as a rookie, they're going to get it. It's quarterback. It's just like college Heisman every year. It's a quarterback. Of course.
Yep.
Right. But I would say potentially Bijan Robinson. And the only reason I say that is because Tyler Algier ran for 1,000 yards last year. Don't get me wrong. He's good. He came out of BYU. He's nothing special, but he's not bad. And he ran for 1,000 yards. This dude Bijan Robinson is a beast. He's big. And he put up some serious numbers at Texas. And I think he can do it in Atlanta against a weak division like you talked about. Clearly, you know, you play those teams, you know, that's half of your games almost, you know, or almost a little less than half.
Yep.
You play those teams twice, but I think he's got the potential to rack up the numbers and, you know, potentially get a rookie of the year. But at the same time, it'll probably end up just being a quarterback. But
yeah. There's the other thing to consider that Bijan Robinson's phenomenal. His new mustard line, Bijan Mustard, it's pretty cool. They have a cool little commercial I just saw that the other day. But I think they're going to be trailing in too many football games for him to get the ball. That's the only reason, man. I think he's going to get it a lot if they're winning.
Yeah.
And he's going to be a workhorse. He's a tough SOB, but that's what it is. I think they're going to stink. So it's like, how do you give it to someone how do you give them the ball? You know, that's it. It's the only reason I wouldn't.
Dude better put up like 3 freaking long runs at the beginning of each game and get a touchdown so get that award. Yeah.
Or get like 2 or 200-yard games when they actually game or something like that.
Right. I'm going to say something that's going to be very bold. Maybe piss people off like usual. I think Anthony Richardson has a better fucking season than CJ Stroud and Bryce Young. Just going to throw that out there. I'm just going to throw that out there. I know, Nate, but I'm watching the preseason and I understand whatever. Richardson looks fucking good. He looks good, dude.
You guys are lucky Aiden O'Connell ain't playing. He'd be winning Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, right. Well,
he looks phenomenal. He is.
Guy's a big beauty. Right, I know it's the preseason, but it actually makes me feel good as a Raiders fan knowing that when Jimmy Garoppolo sits out like 5 fucking games because he gets hurt every season, that we actually have a smidge of hope with our backup quarterback.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Who the fuck was the guy from last season, Cole?
Stidham.
He's behind. He's sitting back there watching Russell Wilson now.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
He got some money to go, so.
I was just going to say, he got it.
I wouldn't.
So, yeah.
No, I was impressed by him with the fucking.
He did all right.
Yeah, I have no complaints. I don't think. Again, Cole, I held your hand through that whole season. I told you, listen, I'm here for you. Okay, but this is the support system. Josh McDaniels is a fuck. I'm going to say it right now. Fucking force Derek Carr out. I'm going to tell you right now what's going to bite their ass, and I don't want to wish this because you're a Raiders fan, but I just want to say this. I hope that Derek Carr has a kick-ass season.
Shut the fuck up. No.
I really do. Cole, they fucked him. They fucked him. We talked about. Oh, okay.
He fucked
We're
himself.
on camera now. You know?
He fucked himself. No. I hope he doesn't have a good season, but he's gonna have a good season.
I know. Well, Kamara. I mean, there's
the fucking piece of shit only throws the ball 3 yards every fucking time.
Well, he's going to be playing in a dome now. You know what I mean? The elements aren't going to play a factor.
What do you mean? He just played in a dome last year with Vegas for the last 2 years.
Well, it's different. It's different in the Bayou. You got Adam Schefter. You got Adam Schefter over there. You know, I really think the elements affect him. I said, Adam, how about you just shut the fuck up and let's see what happens on the field. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Was like, if it was below 40 degrees, he was like 1-15.
Yeah, but Adam didn't need a fucking.
What was
kick him
Tom
down
Brady
like
when
that.
he played in Foxborough when it was -30 all the time?
Okay, well, we got to also say the refs
40
were
and
getting
10.
pictures of Giselle before the game. Okay, let's not get out of hand here. Kraft was throwing a couple
Couple of
chips and
deflated footballs maybe in there too. I don't understand, dude. I don't know what that affects. Honest to God, barely. Like, okay, I'll say this: I played on the line. I never touched the ball, so I don't know.
right.
Did it really affect it if you lost by 30, Indianapolis? I'm sorry.
I
don't think it did. You were losing anyway. Sorry. That's
I
just
fucked up my whole setup there, laughing my ass off. I pulled this plug and fucking shit. No, I wasn't bashing Cole, but seriously though, I was. They put him through so much shit last year, and Schefter's a fuck.
I mean, they should the way that they just benched him. I mean, that's shouldn't have how it went. That's not how it should have went. But at the same time, I mean, it's been 9 years, and he's literally gotten worse his last 2 seasons.
You know,
he had the weapons. There's no excuses anymore. He had the weapons, and he didn't utilize them to the best of his capabilities. So I'm gonna sit back, watch him rip it up with the Saints. Enjoy my 6 weeks of Devontae Adams before they trade him because of 1-5 by then.
Yeah, I think he's going to be out of there too.
If they don't start off somewhat of a decent pace, he's not going to be there this season. No. And it kills me to say that.
I know.
That's just the truth.
Yeah. Could you think
he can say immediately, I want to retire a Raider. And I love him. I think he's a pretty humble dude.
Oh, yeah.
But I think if it's not going good, he don't want to be on a rebuild. No one, he wants to win a Super Bowl, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Last year, I think, was his first losing season as a pro.
Yeah, it was. It was in Green Bay.
Pretty crappy, and they had high hopes, and it didn't work out, and that division was supposed to be so much better than what it turned out to be.
No,
it should be better this year. I mean, I'd think.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you, Cole. Do you think he could be a Jet? I don't know, man. I think. I mean, it makes sense, but
DB, just put the pieces together. It's not crazy at all.
No, and they're building a super team.
Yeah.
I see him in a Patriots jersey before anything. I mean, no offense. I mean, McDaniels has that. I'm just saying, dude.
Yeah, that's true. McDaniels probably traded him for half this Patriots team.
Yeah.
just
what has happened to this organization, and Eric and you, I have sympathy for. It just the cycle of shit that has just spewed. You had John Gruden ever since Chucky completely just. It's just I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck to say to that.
Why do you think I just tell you that when like Josh Jacobs sits out, like I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Henry Ruggs last year going 9,000 miles an hour.
Do you think they figured it out though? Sometime here, Cole.
Gruden got fired. That's a dumpster fire. You know who needs to go is Mark Davis. I think it's time for him to take a fucking hike.
Yeah.
Honestly. I think Ziegler as the GM was a great hire. This is not to talk about the Raiders this whole time, but this year was one of their better drafts in God knows how many years. They picked pieces that they needed and threw together, and I think it's those guys that they got this year is going to be like, I'm not going to say they're going to impact the Raiders and like that, but it's definitely going to help them a lot. They got Mayer at tight end. They got Wilson from Texas Tech, and then Aiden O'Connell's a good backup. They got Tucker from Cincinnati. It actually wasn't a bad draft, and it's all to the GM there who got his shit going and got a good draft for him. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. McDaniels better hope he wins or he's be out of there real soon too.
Yeah. I think they're stuck with him for 2 more years from the rumors I've been seeing.
Yeah.
This deal's so rich. It's like they just can't give up. They're going to forfeit like 40-something mil if they get rid of him, which is just horrible.
He got an ungodly amount of money.
Yeah.
Nate, I keep interrupting your segment. Keep going, buddy.
Oh, no, you're all good, dude.
Okay.
No, I mean, this is still part of it.
I just had to say that to Cole because it's just like, when he was on a hiatus and Eric was on a hiatus, and we're talking about Garoppolo not fucking coming in the game or not. We don't know if he's playing this. I'm like, all right, let's just pump the fucking brakes here. Like this. But anyways, if I stay on this topic, we're going to be gone for another 5 minutes. So you just go ahead.
I wanted to bring this up. This is going to bring up some nostalgia and some things that we'd love to forget. So the question is, what's your top football memory that you've ever been associated with?
Oh,
and you've ever been playing football? I know that your guys' experience playing football is much different than mine, although you guys probably had better success playing football, even if you didn't even play varsity football, than I did. But my favorite football memory that I've ever been associated with, having the Steelers win 2 Super Bowls, and then also attending the Rose Bowl was up there for me too. I want to know what your guys' favorite memories are with just being associated with football in your whole lives, and then maybe even playing football, because football ended for you guys earlier than me, which definitely stinks. But I want to know, last time you guys played football, what are some of your favorite memories from even when you played and just being associated with it?
Cool.
Clearly I'm a diehard Raiders fan. So what my memories is, I got out, me and my wife got to make it out to the Coliseum before they left. That was like, that was on my checklist. Like I want to get there, watch a game before they move. And I went and watched the one where they beat the Steelers, where your kicker slipped and kicked it into the offensive lineman's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at that one, and then then I got to go out to. I've been out to Vegas the last 2 years to watch them play too. So just getting to watch my favorite team play at their respective stadiums is highlight of my football. Being a fan, but I didn't play football. I played when I was.
Yeah.
I played midget football when I was 9 and 10.
Yep.
I broke my leg the following summer playing baseball, and then I was scared to play like growing up because I didn't want to get hurt again.
Right.
And then, clearly when I got in hie school, I was like, it's not even worth it because I'm small and it won't take much to get hurt, and I want to play basketball and baseball. So I didn't play football in high school.
Yeah. Do you win a cereal bowl, though, when you were a little kid? When you were 10?
I don't. That might have been the year my leg was broke already.
Oh, really? Oh.
Or I don't even remember. Maybe I wasn't.
I think when you were 10 and I was 9, Cole, you guys didn't give up a freaking defensive touchdown until the playoffs. And then
I don't know if that might have been the year my leg was broken. I just didn't play after that.
Yeah. Were you quarterback and then Cam got to play quarterback when you were out?
I never played quarterback.
Okay.
It was definitely the year after, because I think I played when I was 9. And I played like 9 and 10, and then clearly when I was 10, I wasn't there. I was hurt.
Oh, okay. Wow. So you really only played 1 year of football your whole life. Wow, that's crazy. But I kind of played longer.
The more I think back, like I wish I would have played, but at the same time, I hurt. But it's not like I don't know a lot about football. You know what I mean? It's not like you come on here and just bullshit about stuff I don't know.
Right. Oh, hell no, Cole. No, that's not what I meant at all.
Good.
No.
Drew, what you got?
I'm an ESPN analyst at heart. Okay, so half those guys on that fucking show can kick rocks. Okay, I've been playing Madden since 02, motherfucker. Marshall Falk was on the cover. So, anyways, a lot of backyard battles, a lot of torn sweatshirts. Never played, but I'll tell you right now, a lot of heart and backyards of friends.
Yep.
Danny Singer primarily. A lot of QB sneaks and getting my ass fucking taken out. But hey, that's okay. Best football moment. It has to be the fucking Super Bowl 43.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown. Holy shit. Antonio Holmes. I'm not even drinking. That's fucked up. Antonio Holmes back of the end zone catch. Hold on to that. And definitely Super Bowl 40 as a young kid. Getting to see how excited my dad got for them to be back and watch it with his son. That was pretty goddamn cool. But other one involving Antonio Brown at the Cleveland game when he kicked the punter in the face. I was at that game. It's fucking awesome. Enjoyed the shit out of it. They shouldn't have called a penalty on it. He shouldn't have fucking been in his way.
He did call a penalty on it.
No, they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't think they should
have either?
I don't know. Like
He
he was trying to hurdle him, and
Yeah.
it just didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a weird one.
But I'm not going to be light with this. He's a jackass now, and I did burn his jersey. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, love that.
He's wanted for his arrest for unpaid child support. That's his latest saga. So,
Antonio, I know this episode probably won't get to you, but you just keep fucking, topping yourself and redeeming yourself every goddamn month. So hats off to you. Also, for you to call the Roonies old white people, it's a sad day. It's a sad day. And you call Ben fat. That guy give you all of his yards.
I mean, he wasn't wrong. It's just kind of stupid to say it.
Well, they took you in the 6th round. Nate, I don't want to take over a segment, but this guy, and when he gets brought up, this is probably 5 minutes of the episode, but I'm going to keep it short. That guy is a jackass. Okay, that's an example. And what I worry about with athletes, he gets drafted in the 6th round. He gets this opportunity. He turns out to be a fucking superstar. I'll tell you right now, if Ben wasn't his fucking quarterback, there would not be any Antonio Brown. I'm going to be honest. So those, 11,000 yards he has. Then he's lucky enough to go to the Raiders organization, makes an ass out of himself, punts the Super Bowl fucking football in the GM's office. But what are you doing? Like, what? All right, if we just got to get off it. Throws a mattress out his window. Now he's not paying child support. I mean, class fucking act. Wow.
There's more in there too. Didn't pay his players.
And he's fucking doing this shit.
Employees didn't leave his house. Maneuvered his way out of a trade to the Bills. What else can we? I mean, there's a lot.
Well, that stupid song that fucking does this shit.
Yeah.
It's like, what is that?
Guy just went off the deep end.
Yeah. I'll say this. You guys can disagree with me if you want. It's totally fine. I hope this guy can come back to get to a place where he was about 6-7 years ago. He was beloved by people. He seemed to be taking care of himself. He seemed to be an okay guy. I hope he figures it out because, it's in him. I don't know. I truly don't know if it's just he's having mental health crisis after mental health crisis. I don't know. I hope he figures it out. I don't want this guy to keep doing this.
I agree with you, but no offense to you. That guy can fuck off at this point.
Yeah, it's just he just keeps doing it to himself.
Everybody in this world's done with this stupid shit.
Right.
So.
Right.
And I was looking at something again via Reddit. They made this comparison. Mike Tyson, okay, he had a custom auto. His trainer took care of him. Custom auto dies. He gets around the wrong people. I think that happened with Antonio. I think he just got surrounded around a bunch of dickheads and just fed off his fame and took advantage of him. And now he's just like, fuck it, I'm going to live this lifestyle. I mean, it's if you would have told me 8 years ago, Nate, that he would run off the field with his jersey off.
Yeah. No way.
I mean,
no way. No way.
I mean, it's just that hit fucked him up. They need to do a test on his goddamn brain. They need something needs
something off there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't want to speculate, but
no, there is. I'll fucking say right here. Get evaluation, Antonio. Anyways, go ahead, Nate.
All right. I want to know the worst football memories that you guys have, because I can tell you some of the ones that I have on here. I don't even want to read because I just get so pissed off. Jesse James catch that was a freaking catch. I don't care what anybody says. That was horrendous. He broke the plane. He completed the catch. That was horrendous to me. Those AFC freaking championship games throughout our lives against the Patriots, all those, that sucks so bad. We had a freaking punt return touchdown that got called back, and what was it, the one in 2001 or whatever it was?
Yes.
Brady's first Super Bowl was terrible. Yeah, that was a bad one. And I'll tell you what, one that I had no cards in that I watched the whole game, that Bills collapse, 13 seconds. I've never been freaking madder in sports, I think, in my life. Not even games that I was a part of. That was the worst performance ever. That was freaking terrible. So those are mine. I mean, unfortunately, Cole, I think that I'm probably speaking for you, and I hate to do it. The tuck rule has to be one of the worst for you in your life.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I was young. Clearly, I was young when that happened, but yeah. That was crap. But
that was crap.
I ain't even pinpoint one out besides the Tuck rule because every year watching the Raiders just kind of sums up your life for you. But yeah, I'd agree with that one. But I would agree with the Bills one. I don't know how you do that in 13 seconds. That's like the worst thing I've ever seen in football in the last how many years. That was bad. But yeah, I would just say the compilation of being a Raiders fan over the last 15 plus years is just enough to answer your questions. You're sitting there talking about all those big games the Steelers ran, and just sit back and just talk about all the Raiders regular season games that they blow all the time.
That one last year against the Rams. Oh, come on.
Oh, my God. Dude, they blew like 7 games where they were winning by 14 plus, 15 plus. They lost them all. So, yeah, there you go. There's all mine.
It happened in less than a calendar year. And that just sucks, man.
That's unbelievable to think about.
What about you, DB? I want to know.
Cole, I don't want to. I just feel like this whole episode we just really have just been fucking one and then another and then a jab and then a fucking.
I'm not even trying to do that.
I know. I hope he's not taking it that way. I hope.
Oh my God, no! You don't think I know how bad the Raiders have been?
Well, no, I just.
It's just easy to pick them out and just be like, wow, what are they doing with this? What are they doing with that? Because everything associated with them is just not good.
Well, I was going to fly you and myself down to Eric down there in Florida and have a candlelight ceremony on the beach and fucking light those things up and send them in the fucking sky and have a prayer. Jesus Christ.
I took everything you guys said personally, I'd literally exit out of this stream going on right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that would. I think a lot of people come to see you. But anyways, I got to ask you a question. Immaculate Reception. Did he catch it?
Oh, that's another sour one, dude.
No.
Because every Raiders fan I've asked, he didn't catch it. I still want to know why that camera didn't
I just watched the video like everybody else had. I don't know.
But the camera, that's where I see their argument.
Yeah.
Because it does not actually see him from the side down, Nate. Yeah. It's head on they have. But anyways, fuck it. We'll just move past.
There was also another thing. I think at the time, there was a rule in the league where if it hit somebody the way it hit the player's helmet or something and he catches it, it's supposed to be a dead play.
It was supposed to be dead.
It was supposed to be a catch anyway because of the rule. So even if that thing didn't touch the ground, which who the hell knows if it did or didn't, it probably shouldn't have been a catch anyway. I think technically, and I think that Raiders fans say that too. And
yes, I agree. I
don't know the 1972 NFL freaking rule book off the top of my head.
But this all came up. So this all came up at a family gathering when Franco died. And it's just, it's sad to see him go, but he didn't actually catch it. I'm like, Jesus, all right, fuck.
All right.
What's going on over there? What the fuck's going on over here? What? Anyways, all right. Probably the worst situation, Tim Tebow. I don't know what year.
Jeez.
Broncos, Steelers. Demaryius Thomas.
God rest his soul, man.
My 14-year-old body was overcome with sadness and depression.
You probably cried.
Oh, I was so devastated, dude.
I screamed. I did cry. I think I had a pillow and I just put my head down, and I just said, you know what, God damn, I knew we were never going to get. I kind of thought that was it. We're never going to get to this point again. I knew it. It's just, you know what I mean, with Ben. And then the other situation was when Boswell got knocked out. I didn't understand what the fuck happened there, Nate. Remember that trick play?
Oh gosh, yeah.
So I mean, we were kind of up there. We didn't have a kicker.
Hits I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, we didn't have a kicker.
Yeah.
On we had to sign that kicker the following week, so we had to keep going for 2. I was like, fuck, okay, they better sign a kicker here. We're fucked because he was out 4 weeks.
Who do we? Oh, he went to the Jaguars after Matthew Wright, and then he was with the Chiefs. He was pretty good.
He's pretty good
that year.
Yeah, Matthew Wright wasn't bad. He was a pretty good signee for sure.
Right.
It might not have been him. It might have been somebody else. They had somebody else too.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was
Matthew Scobie. Son of a bitch.
That was the worst kicker ever.
That guy can literally fuck off. Oh my God. I was like, he's getting paid.
He forgot how to kick overnight. just forgot how to kick.
They're showing highlights. Oh, it's the other side and Josh.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Right.
great. Fuck
He's pretty
yeah.
good. Yeah.
No, I fucking shanks it off his left foot. Fucking, fuck. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck this guy. Fuck him. Lost his 3 games.
Yeah, he did. It's funny, man. The kickers get the yips. I mean, Rodrigo Blankenship was the best kicker in college football for 3 years, and he didn't make a team yet this year again. Last year, he didn't make a team. And then how about Roberto Aguayo? He was the best kicker in college football for 4 years. He was a second-round choice of the Buccaneers. He was there for 2 seasons. Then he went to the Bears, didn't make the team, and he's retired.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's a shame. I mean, I don't know what happens, man. I was a kicker. I kicked. I mean, I wasn't anything special. I just had a soccer background. I never was good enough to get the yips. I either just put it right down the middle or I just shanked the shit out of it. I mean, that's just how it was, man. So, yeah, I don't know. They just get the yips or something. It's a shame because, yeah, Scobie was it for a minute. And,
piece of shit.
That was bad.
Yeah. Those are it for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that Broncos one. I think that's like back of my mind, man, because that one was just so sour. It's like I like Tim Tebow, so like losing to him was just like, oh, I can't even be mad. He's a good guy, but I'm so pissed.
I said a lot of nasty shit.
Dude, like Ike Taylor was pretty dang good, but I was so pissed off at Ike Taylor for like a couple years because of that crap. I like him so bad.
I forget if it was it was a Sunday. It was a Sunday, right? That this happened. Sunday night.
I don't know.
I think it was like a Sunday, like
because I know we had school the next day, and I just said some awful shit. I'm like, Tim Tebow's going to be a virgin for the rest of his life. Fuck him. And I said at lunch, and I got a detention for saying fuck him. So I that's also burns me because it was on top of the 300 detentions I got. So it's fucking whatever. But anything else there, Neatster?
I have some college football talk I wanted to talk about a little bit. I think Cole, I wasn't sure how much college football you watch, but some of the stuff you threw out this episode, you definitely plug into it. I can tell, man.
I watch a ton of college football.
I love that. So obviously Cole probably, he knows. DB, I don't know how much college football you watch. I feel like you pay a little attention, but you're an NFL guy through and through. There's no debate about that.
Penn State only,
Yeah, and as you should. But yeah, I mean, some of the favorites this year. Okay, what I'll say this year. This is like the last nostalgic sort of year in college football because this thing's getting an overhaul, man. Yeah. This realignment, this NIL stuff. We're going to have nationwide conferences. Like, this is going to be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be bizarre to see some of these games. But what I wanted to talk about was some of the favorites, some of the underdogs that may have a fighting chance, and then some of these Heisman contenders. So favorites, Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, LSU, USC. Those seem to be some of the favorites, dark horses, Penn State, Notre Dame, Oregon, Clemson, Washington, Florida State. Those are some of the dark horses to me. Who I personally think is legit, can actually win a national championship is Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama. Yep. And then if there's a couple others I would throw out there, I really think Washington has a chance. Oregon has a fighting chance. But my personal favorite, if there's a legit dark horse, just because their schedule's so freaking good, and I really like their coach, and I really like Sam Hartman in Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I really like Notre Dame. I really like them this year. I'm personally, I'm out on USC, LSU, Clemson, Florida State as some of those favorites that are thrown in there. I want to know what you guys think. DB, I don't know how much you follow the landscape of it, but I know Cole, I know that you obviously do. So I want to see who you think has a chance out of all those teams I threw out there. I know it was pretty quick, but who do you think?
I honestly, about every team you picked, I agree with. Like contenders, your dark horses, like who you actually think is going to be like one of those teams. I agree with all those. I would throw, I'm not saying this because I'm a Penn State fan. Penn State's supposed to have one of a top 5 defense this year. They're supposed to be freaking good.
Yep.
I think their season's going to depend on how Drew Aller plays.
Yeah.
he plays up to the potential that he's supposed to, they can be really good and make some noise, along with Ohio State, Michigan in the Big Ten. But Alabama and Georgia, they're going to be right there. USC is going to be there just because they're going to score 70 points, but they're going to give up 60.
Yep.
So it's just a matter of who they run into later on in the season and if they can pull it out. But honestly, I agree with everything you picked out. College football's kind of got a trend going now where Alabama's always there and Georgia's always there.
Yep.
Ohio State's always there. Michigan's back in there. Years before that it was Florida. Florida was the dogs. Clemson was the dogs, and now it's just you're on that trend. But yeah, this kind of sit back and like enjoy this last year of college football, just because like you said, Texas and Oklahoma are going to the SEC, UCLA, USC are going to the Big Ten. All the conferences are about to change, which is cool. I think it's cool. It's going to be different, but it kind of takes away from growing up. All of us growing up watching college football and how they did the playoffs and the conferences, and it's going to be different. But I do like the expansion of the college football. So
that's a good one.
That's a necessity. I think it's 12 or 8.
It's going to 8.
8. Sorry, I don't know. I see stuff on Twitter all the time. It's like you imagine if it was 12, but 8. 8's still good because you always have 3 that are right there that The fourth one's always a toss up, and then now you have you'll have 5, 6, 7 should be locks, and then 8 could be that one that's a toss up. So I agree with you, everything you said with who's going to be there. It's college football. You never know. It's not the NFL. These guys actually have something to play for, right? Most of them want to get to the NFL. They're not already there. But at the same time, they're in NIL deals now, so they can probably do shit as long as they get their money. So, I like, I'll talk college. We have podcasts in the future during the season of college football. We can deep dive into this discussion some more once we get a feel for who's doing what. But for your little preseason outlook so far, I'm right on board with you.
Oh, yeah. DB, you got anything to add?
I will tell you this. Through and through, every year, I want fucking Penn State to win. Fuck Pitt.
Absolutely.
Except Kenny Pickett.
Man. Oh, my gosh, are they do.
Except Kenny Pickett. That's the only thing I've liked that came out of Pitt. Cannot stand them. Cannot stand Alabama. Roll Tide. God damn it, we're going to win this year, boys. Shut the fuck up. You are such a bandwagon fan. I'm so sick of that. Georgia, fuck you. And it's like that every year. I think I do put a bet in $5. Penn State, national championship winner, and the Bonnies taking the NCAA tournament as well. It never fucking happens. Never happens. But I do every fucking year. It's
meant for the A10 or something. That's crazy.
No, I do.
ADB. You go talk shit about Roll Tide to Coach Fisk, and he'll freaking throw you through a wall.
Oh, we got into that. Oh yeah. He said, "Oh, you PA boy." I said, "No, I'm from the same place as Cole." And he goes, "Penn State fan." I said, "Yeah, Penn State fan all day." And then he kind of threw a little jabs in there, and then he said, "I'm a Bama fan." I said, "Well, you're a bandwagon. You're not a Bama fan. You're a bandwagon fan." That's what. But it's whatever. No, he's a good dude. He got a lot of athletes ready to compete and kick some ass. But no, and it's just kind of hidden light here. That Joe Paterno documentary was on, Nate. So that kind of really just got me jazzed up for college football season to come. So, but I'll dive into that. We'll have a fucking episode.
Third Saturday. Let's go.
We'll have a Saturday morning fucking show if we can fit that in everybody's schedule. Fuck those guys. Watch us.
Notre Dame versus Navy in Ireland this weekend.
We'll have our own college game day as long as DB orders a mascot head every weekend to throw on.
Oh fuck yeah,
that's great.
I'll get a fucking Bearcat or whatever the fuck it is. Penn State. I'll get fuck yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Mini line fucking head. Fuck yeah.
Cole, to add on to what you said about Penn State, obviously it matters a lot what Drew Aller does.
Yeah.
But I think that one thing that we're overlooking is how the trenches play. I think that that's the key. Like Michigan pushed us all over the field last year, if you remember. They run for almost 500 yards against us or 500 more.
That's bad,
It's horrible. Ohio State, we actually stick with them better than we stuck with Michigan, just because that game doesn't necessarily come down to the trenches. It just comes down to like a couple big plays that we just seem to never freaking make against them, and they make. So credit to them, but no, man, I think we're closer to Ohio State than Michigan, and it really comes down to the trenches. It was what I think. We got this.
Agreed.
Top 10 lineman to Somu, whatever his name is. He's supposed to be the number 1 lineman in the draft. So hopefully he and company can protect Drew. And then we got a 2-headed monster in the backfield. And, Nick Singleton's one of the leading non-quarterback players in the Heisman.
Yep.
He's that guy. So I don't know. We'll see though, man. I want to pick Penn State, but gosh, it's hard to pick against Michigan and Ohio State in the Big Ten. It really is. And I'm a Penn State fan, It sucks.
Fuck the Ohio State though. Fuck them. Fuck them. I hate them more than Bama.
Tired of them. All right. Way too early Heisman predictions as well. And this is the last thing that I have prepared.
That's all right.
Quarterbacks. There's a million of them. There's a million guys. This is the most players that I really remember. Man, if they go off, they got a shot. They really do. They have a really good chance to win this thing. You got Caleb Williams coming back, reigning Heisman Trophy winner in the Pac-12 that honestly got better. There's a lot of great teams in the Pac-12 this year. It should be anyway. You got Michael Penix Jr. He's another one coming back for what feels like his millionth season in college football. I think this is his 6th year. My gosh. Get out of there. Move on, man. You think he's going to be 24 this year. It's ridiculous.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then we have Jaden Daniels from LSU. Quinn Ewers is another one. If he puts up the stats, then he's good. I mean, if they win games, he's going to put up stats. It's a direct correlation. And he's in the Big 12 where they put up a ton of yards, ton of points, all that. He's got a chance. Drake May. Everybody's salivating at Drake May. He's in the crappy ACC. If they run the table, which I don't think they will, but if he puts up some stats around the table, he's got a shot. Carson Beck was named the starter at Georgia. He's got the biggest forehead in college football this year. Hopefully he's good to back that up, going for 3 straight. He's got a chance. J.J. McCarthy, Michigan. They were in the playoffs 2 years in a row. He's got a chance, man. Joe Milton from Tennessee. They're going to put up 1.5 million points in a loaded SEC. He's got a good shot. Who else do I have here? Drew Aller. I mean, you got to put him on there. Got to put him on there. Yeah. One of the best quarterback prospects we've seen in recent years. The best one that Penn State's ever had. If Penn State wins games, it's because the line and Drew Aller and maybe a little Nick Singleton and those guys thrown in there too. One guy that people love to hate. But I really like this kid, Spencer Rattler. They do not care for this kid. I do. I think he's got a good chance. And he plays for South Carolina. If he puts up some stats in the SEC and they win a lot of games, if Spencer Rattler leads South Carolina to 10 wins in the SEC, oh my gosh, he's got to be in the conversation. There's no question. Mm-hmm. And a couple other guys. Jordan Travis from Florida State in a crappy ACC probably has a shot, and Cade Klubnik and for Clemson, he's probably got a shot too. That's a lot of guys, though. That's a lot of quarterbacks. And who I did not mention, but personally I'm picking. I don't know what it is. I really, really like Sam Hartman from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Your schedule's brutal. He can sling the thing. They have a better team this year. And in a team like Notre Dame, they run the table. They played a bunch of Power 5 teams and then teams like Navy, Army, and all that. It's hard to argue it, man. Yeah. So I'm picking Sam Hartman. That's me. Couple other guys that are in contention, non-quarterbacks. Marvin Harrison Jr. Pretty hard to pick against that guy. Might be the best wide receiver prospect we've ever seen. It's a pretty special player. Blake Corum from Michigan. Damn, he's good. Might be the best running back in college football. I personally don't think so, but he's right there if he's not. Nick Singleton from Penn State, who I think is the best running back in college football. Going to be hard to win a Heisman on that loaded of a team, especially with Drew Aller. And then One really random one is Brock Bowers, who I personally think is the best tight end that I've ever seen in college football.
He's a stud.
That dude is different, man. He is different. He is so talented. His speed at tight end. He doesn't even look like a tight end. He's a wide receiver that is a tight end. Like he's different, man. A couple other honorable mentions. Mid-major guys. Grayson McCall from Coastal Carolina in the Sun Belt Conference. The Sun Belt has been tough these last few years. You know, Grayson McCall's been there for a million years. If you remember, Grayson McCall was a freshman. They played against Zach Wilson when BYU was ranked and Coastal Carolina was ranked, and Grayson McCall played amazing, and everybody was hyping him up, and Zach Wilson got his butt kicked. He's still there somehow. So Grayson McCall is one guy. And then another guy, Michael Pratt from Tulane. Tulane had a great year last year, the best Tulane football team maybe ever. They bring a lot back. Michael Pratt was a big reason for their success. Those guys probably aren't winning it, but mid-major guys that have a chance. So there's all my guys. Sam Hartman's my winner. You don't know, but what do you guys think? What do you guys think about who I threw out there? A lot of guys.
Yeah, no, I think you got a good list. Clearly, quarterbacks are going to run the Heisman
Right.
too. I agree. Sam Hartman's a good one, but I honestly think, as much as it's not sickening, but I think Caleb Williams is going to win it again, just because the way that they play offense and the way they just sling the ball and move and move and move down the field as fast as they can and throw. And I think he's going to put up those numbers again, regardless of what they do as a team, whether they make the football playoff or not. I think he's got a pretty high chance to win again. Sam Hartman, I agree with. To follow up, Drake May, I do like Drake May. I do think he's really good. He can throw and he can run.
Right.
Clearly the ACC is not the SEC, but I think the ACC in years past has been better than the Pac-12.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Not going to be too bad, like you said. But
Yeah.
no, you have a good list. I like your list. A lot of good quarterbacks out there this year. A lot of good college football games are going to come in the future, and we'll see. Well, once again, this is another topic we can discuss. Halfway through the college football season, and get a feel for who's doing what. But I do like what you got started, though. It's a good list, and I do like your Sam Hartman pick.
Nate, not enough knowledge. Got to dive in. Got to dive in.
Go ahead, man.
No. Like what's Cole saying, halfway through the season. Yeah, okay. I gotta get it.
Wait. Okay, I got you. Okay,
gotta get a feel.
Okay,
feet aren't even wet.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I also threw out like 20 or 25 players.
Well, I was going to write them down, and then I'm like, no, fuck it. We can just.
I just kept going, man. I didn't give you much time.
No.
I'll tell you what, though. I was doing some big research. I was looking into D2 and D3 guys, and one guy that's local. It was Carnegie Mellon's All-American linebacker. Was one of the Division III most likely guys to win the Heisman of Division III guys.
Right. Sure.
So pretty cool stuff to see someone pretty local to us. I feel like sometimes Carnegie Mellon gets left out because like there's such a highly regarded academic institution, and they get brainiacs and student athletes from all over the globe. But like to see someone that's representing Western PA on there, that's pretty special, man.
Yeah.
He's going to be a senior. He had like 100 tackles last year in 10 games, All-American linebacker. So pretty cool to see someone. I mean, he ain't winning it. Like you have to have probably 400 tackles for Carnegie Mellon in 10 games to win it. But pretty cool to see him even on anybody's article list of who could win this thing.
Right. No, that's fucking cool shit though, mate. Yeah. I'm just trying to fucking think of well, we could. How are we doing on time? Everybody all right? Everybody okay? I got a couple fucking future bets here I just want to throw out there.
All right.
Because I put them in. It's selfish. It's selfish. I'm going to be honest. I'm taking up more of your time. But most regular season total pass touchdowns. Who do you think? We got Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Burrow, and Kirk Cousins, all kind of around the same pluses. Mahomes has got a plus 250 better odds than Josh Allen at plus 600. but the rest of them are very fucking close in that ratio. What do you think? Fucking Pat has that, or could it go any way on that top 4? Because I fucked up. I think I fucked up. You know who I picked?
Who?
Yeah, Kirk.
Ooh.
I picked Kirk because they don't have a run game. That's what I thought. I was like, they're going to sling the fucking ball.
Here, I'll say this.
Yes.
Cole, sorry. I feel like I'm going first every freaking time. Sorry.
No worries.
I'm not picking Kirk because they're going to have too many touchdowns outside the red zone. You said red zone touchdowns, right?
No, total.
Oh, total?
Yeah, total passing.
Okay. Oh, that does make it tough.
That's it.
Oh, man. But
I can't take it. You got Justin Jefferson. You know what I mean? I mean, it's
the Chiefs have all these running backs, but then they'll get down there, they'll run in a circle, and then Mahomes will drop the ball behind his head and he'll somehow go 10 yards down the field and it'll end up in some guy's hands wide open. And it's just like, what kind of sorcery was this?
right.
Okay,
Right.
like those stupid plays you don't discount. And they're a team that like they'll let Pacheco go the whole way down the field and then they'll get to the 5 and they'll go, oh, fake to Pacheco, wide open pass, Kelsey's wide open. Nobody covered him for some freaking reason.
Right.
But no, it's hard to pick against any of those guys. I'll say this. I don't think it'll be Josh Allen because he runs too much down there. And he throws a crap ton of red zone interceptions for some stupid reason. He started doing it.
Yep.
Joe Burrow, they have a decent run game with Mixon.
Rodgers is also on here at plus 1,400.
Yeah.
And Herbert.
Yeah. Herbert throws it a lot, but Eckler catches a ton of passes from him in the red zone. And they have some guys that can really get down the field.
Right.
So, oh, man, that's so hard to pick. I'd pick Mahomes, though. I mean, how can you pick against that guy, man?
Cool.
I'd say like Mahomes, Burrow, or Herbert.
Yeah.
Oh, he's put Herbert. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Herbert slings that fucking dude.
Yeah, and he throws it to Austin Eckler a crap ton. So, like, they get to the 20, like, oh, they'll run it, and they'll throw it to Eckler 5 times inside the 20.
Right.
Or they'll just throw a fade to Mike Williams because he's 6'5".
When he plays.
Now they got Quentin Johnston, who's basically Mike Williams, like younger age. So
pretty much
see Herbert, but that's a good one, not a bad one.
Yeah.
And then regular season rushing touchdowns. Actually, Jalen Hurts takes that with plus 750 right now.
It's a good pick.
I took that. I took that fucking low plus.
Absolutely. They've gotten to like the 1 or 2 yard line than more teams that I've ever watched last season. And clearly they just pushed him in the end zone. But it's just wild to think about how many times he rushed for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to say this. Nothing personal against Jalen Hurts. I hope that this is done this year. Stack the box. Just throw anything you can to not let them pull him across the goal line. Load the box. Do something, man.
No doubt.
I am proud of that. Holy crap.
Holy fuck.
Good for them.
I love when you get fired up. I love
the
it.
cows come home. I mean, they did it with Brady. Brady would just dive on the ground and then get a first down for 20 freaking years. And now the Eagles are doing their version of it, which is literally just like the biggest, heaviest guys on our team are just going to throw Jalen Hurts through the air, and he's going to end up in the end zone.
Right.
For some freaking reason.
No. And then the other one, regular season receiving touchdowns. They got Jamar Chase at plus 650. I disagree with this. I went Kelsey.
Yeah.
I went Kelsey.
That's a good pick.
Even though he's a jackass, I do enjoy the New Heights podcast. Shout out to them. But I have to take him. I have to.
I mean,
good pick.
Good pick to me too, because they've lost Hardman, Juju, and they haven't really replaced them that much. I mean, okay, I'll say this: Kadarius Toney is gonna be good. It's like that dude's gonna have a great season, I think, because he's actually happy now and he's not being a baby about playing with the Giants offense. I mean, you saw like many glimpses of it throughout the postseason. This guy, once he started to figure out that offense and get implemented, he was like wide open all the time, or he would getting all these creative plays. I think he's going to fill that void, but still, Kelsey's just he's almost money. Like it's like clockwork. Man.
Mm-hmm.
And Devontae's actually fourth on this list here at plus 1,100.
It's hard to argue that.
I mean, $5, $55. I mean, come on, think about it, people. I mean, it's really up to what the fuck you want to do. AJ Brown taking out the list there with plus 1,200. Also a good candidate as well. You can't go wrong with any of these.
No.
Yeah.
You know, and then most sacks, you guys already kind of know where I'm going to go with that. But my fucking favorite guy in the whole world, and this is how we're going to end the show on this last segment, fucking Myles Garrett is favored by plus. He has plus 200 on TJ. I don't think so. I went TJ.
Either.
I don't know, guys. I'll say this. Do I think Myles Garrett's better than TJ Watt? No.
Fuck no.
But the best ability is availability, and Myles Garrett doesn't really miss football games.
You're right.
That's the only thing I'm going to say. As much as I don't really – I'd pick TJ too if I could, but Myles Garrett doesn't miss games, man.
And I think I mean, clearly I'm sure Myles Garrett's getting double teamed or triple teamed too, but I don't think as much as TJ Watt does.
Yeah. But the other thing now, Highsmith's come on, man.
Yeah.
Highsmith's come on. So like that – and Hayward's a freaking machine.
Right.
So that's
Herbert
consideration too. And Herbig,
Yeah.
Holy man.
Mm.
Herbig. Oh.
Special son of a bitch.
Oh. Where did this guy come from?
Yeah. I just take it very disrespectful that Max Crosby's plus 1,700. I don't agree with that. I think that should be a lower plus. I mean, you actually have Micah Parsons fifth on this list. So that's where they have him at with the odds. I'm not saying that's, you know, I bet you a lot of people will still put Micah Parsons at but you're going to have a fucking payday. That's plus 1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty fucking good. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. So, but the saga continues. Myles Garrett is somehow better than TJ Watt, and I will bitch about it all season. I will. So everybody that's been watching this fucking show for the last, I mean, December's going to be the new, branded year anniversary, still going to be bitching about it because commentators are still going to fucking say it. So until they stop fucking saying it, I'm fucking there. I'm going to do it every time.
Love it.
I was about to say some shit there I should have said, so I had to cut it off. Anyways, but anything else, Cole? You got anything further?
No, all good. We covered a lot of stuff tonight, I thought.
Yeah, no, it's always a goddamn pleasure when you have a ex-pro baseball player join your podcast. It's a fucking pleasure, sir.
Thank you.
We hope to see you next week. If not, that's okay. But no, Nate, it's always a pleasure as well, buddy. Always.
Glad to be back, man. Appreciate you letting me have a little run through there with all those different things.
Oh God, yeah, all day. No, and Trevor, he's here in spirit. He'll be here next week. I know you and actually, well, Cole already had fans from baseball, but Nate and Trevor are really fucking coming along here with fans. I mean, Nate also has a writing blog he does as well on athletes around Central PA and abroad. But Trevor's becoming a fan favorite. I'm enjoying that. So, but no, it's always a goddamn honor and a privilege. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, people, come on. We're literally, I don't know if we broke it, but we're literally at 600. Come join the ride with us. You never know what the fuck you're going to hear come out of my mouth or one of these guys' mouths. It's always a fucking journey when we have an episode, but it's a goddamn pleasure. So I'm going to sign us off here. Have a good day. Have a good night. God bless. Stay safe out there. Another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys. All gas, no breaks. And we'll see you next Thursday. Appreciate you fuckers.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you.